What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew L. Case. You are now tuned into the Middle Initial Podcast. Today is August 21st, 2023, and I'm here with my host as usual, Jude A. Jackson and Kevin A. Lewis. Jude, say what's up to the people.
Hello, everyone. Hope things are going well today. That's my only thing.
All right, great energy to start the show. Kev, what's going
on? Hey, I'm good, man. My baseball show premiered this weekend, so everything, or Friday, whatever, same shit, weekend. Recorded yesterday, episode 2 of that, and I've been writing draft guides for people, so I've been busy.
What's up? Tell everybody what's the name of the show and how they can find it.
The only teams that matter, you can find it youtube.com underdog MLB, and we're two episodes in, so.
Very pretentious title. Only two teams that matter. Let me guess.
That's kind of the point, because people like to hate watch things. So like they might see the title and be like, "Oh, what the fuck that mean?" And then you get in and it's a little bit of Yankees and Sox, yes, but we also talk about the Julio Rodriguez's of the world and Ellie De La Cruz and all of those. Like there's only so much time one can spend talking about the fucking Yankees in 2023. So.
No, I watched episode 1. It's a good show. It's definitely a good show.
Appreciate it.
Oh wow! Look at that. No support from Jude. You like? I gotta give it a look. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm always a little bit late to things.
I don't expect anything more from Brimbo Slice.
He got it back on too, right? Like no shame.
I don't expect no shame in his game. No shame.
Oh man, my weekend was good. My birthday was yesterday.
Oh yes, happy belated birthday! Well, I said happy birthday to you.
You said happy birthday.
Happy birthday again for everyone who doesn't know. It's Case's birthday. How old are you, Case?
I'm a grown man. Just put it for the people who know me. They know I'm a little up there. I'm a grown man.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So. Just a little. Calm down, Kev. You've been stretching my age,
brother. You 47. What you mean a little?
Don't tell that lie. Don't tell that lie.
Yes, a little. You 47. What you mean?
Nah, it was cool, man.
You call Aaron Rodgers Jr., bro. Youngin.
Whippersnapper.
Young bull.
Yeah. It was. I had a good birthday. My friend actually got married on my birthday. So that's what I did. So every year when his wedding anniversary comes up, it's my birthday. So I won't be seeing him anymore on birthdays. Ever again. That's it. Like,
nope.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I'm not gonna see him anytime soon. But the party continues. I will be in Atlantic City this weekend. I did invite you guys. I did invite the guys. Let everybody know. I invited the Discord people and everything like that to come through. Everyone said they couldn't make it, so I don't want to hear like, "Yo, no invite." Yeah, I invited everybody to Atlantic City.
Yes, that sounds very unfamiliar to somebody on this program.
Right. Right.
Who would that be? I don't know who that would be.
I don't know, man.
Bro, that's if you bring Lincecum. You.
Yeah, I don't know, Brimmy Turner. Brimmy Butler.
Oh my goodness! I would always invite you guys out. I mean, I don't go out like that.
That's cap. You literally just went out. It was Ian Pasta in the city the other day. Like, oh, look at me! I'm eating penne alla vodka. Like,
I didn't know. I didn't know if you guys wanted to just randomly go to an Italian restaurant to eat pasta. I don't know.
You don't know. We've been podcasting for almost 3 years. We've known each other longer, and you don't know if we like pasta or not. Let's start the show, man. Let's start.
You are now tuned in to the Middle Initial Podcast, bitch. Now everybody pod nowadays, but it pays when you listen to Drew, Kevin, Case, and in case you missed it, get your spirits lifted. Man, New York's getting covered just to be specific. When the beats will kick it, you get back. Yeah, listen one time, I promise you come back. Now we're switching up a topic, you know that we come pack. And I don't wanna say it, but bitch, we want blacks. In fact, we need that. Cause ain't nobody talk like the boys. It don't matter who you like or employ. We've been the best for a minute. Big brains, could've went to MIT. But we like talking shit. Here's the MIP.
intro in the fucking game. Best intro in the game. I don't care what nobody says. Shout out to Thor for that intro, man. We gotta give him show him his love as usual. But I love the intro every time I hear it. Great intro.
It's very good.
Yeah, man. Lot to talk about. It always feels like we haven't done a show in a while, but we have. Lot to talk about. Uh, no smooth transitions for this one. But I like I like the conversation surrounding this moment right here because I don't know if people are generally upset or just looking for something to be mad.
Shameful. That's so shameful.
Pete Alonso,
That's terrible.
who's the guy's who's the guy who hit the ball?
Mason
What's his
Greenwood.
name? Kev? Yeah, it was his first. It was so the context around that clip for those who've been living under a rock, who don't understand, why that's so funny. This kid Mason Williams gets his first major league hit, which was an infield hit, right? Um, so normally after a player gets a hit, like maybe first major league strikeout, first major hit, whatever, home run, whatever the case may be, they have a tradition where they get the ball and they throw it to the people, like to the opposite dugout or whatever. Like, hey, hold that, save that, it's a memory. I don't know why. I don't know the miscommunication. Kev's going to fill us in. He gets the ball. He starts waving it like, you won it. And he's like, and chucks it into the crowd.
So classless.
Now, I'm a Mets fan. I'm not defending it. Whatever. Because I can't defend it. I can say, well, in his defense, he didn't know that was his first hit. Yeah, but also, why would you throw that ball to the stand? Like, especially from the fair, he was in the foul territory. In fair territory, I've never really seen a player throw the ball into the stands unless it was like, what's the outfielder or something like that, possibly, like maybe in between innings. I don't understand how this blunder happened. It did happen before though. I don't know if I don't have that clip, but somebody hit their first major league home run. They threw it back into the stand, and the player threw it back into the stands or something like that. Like. But Kev, is there any surrounding context, Kev, that we may have missed? So why and how this happened?
All right. So apparently, if you Mets fans watch way more of that team than I do, I'm not even saying this derisively. That's just the truth. So I saw a lot of them were saying like this is a regular occurrence for Pete. Now, I have watched plenty of the Mets, not quite as much as them. I have never seen it. Maybe I just haven't paid enough attention. And of course, I don't actually go to Citi Field, so maybe he does it there off cameras. That's also possible, right? So they claim it's a regular occurrence. Now, it's just funny because it looks bad because Pete did like the universal sign for like keep the ball. Like he did this. That's like the universal sign, like keep the baseball. But if you believe the story that they concocted, which I have no reason not to, because if Pete wanted to be a dickhead, he could have been. If he really wanted to be, they were like, "Look, the pitcher got a new ball, and like he was waving to the pitcher to get his attention, and I guess this is right before the pitcher got the new ball. Like then he got the new ball, and then Pete was just like, okay, fuck it, and then tossed him the stands. I think Pete genuinely did this unknowingly. Now, watching the reaction on Twitter was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. They legitimately act like Pete got in his car, as hell, killed people. Like that's how the reaction went. It was insane. I was like, look, I get why y'all don't like Pete. I'm not one of the people who doesn't like Pete. I think he's corny, but in a harmless kind of way, like in a I care about things way. And it's just like whatever. Do you, bro? He's not bothering nobody. Pete doesn't really bother anybody. He might be a tryhard. He doesn't really bother anybody. But I know people don't like him. But brother, I had no idea to the depths that people didn't like him until I saw this. I was like, bro, he just tossed the ball. And mind you, yes, I know it wasn't on purpose. But Pete helped somebody with this. He helped somebody get free memorabilia. That's something that happened. It happened. Like the person got a free jersey. A signed jersey, signed bat, a few signed baseballs. Who knows what that person chooses to do with them? That's their business, obviously. But Pete's fuck up got people free shit, and you got people on Twitter.com or X.com. Excuse me, X.com going crazy. Like, bro, did like Pete do something else that I missed while this is happening? He threw a baseball in the stands. Pete doesn't exactly look like the sharpest individual. He looks like just big guy who hits for power. There's not much else there. He made a fucking mistake. That's what it is.
Did you just call Pete a meathead pretty much?
Yes. Yes.
Man hit ball. Man hit ball very far.
Yeah,
hit ball and run.
Or in his case, jog. Man hit ball and jog. Yeah, that's what he does. I will say with Pete, he did help in the aftermath. He sent the kid a signed jersey and a bottle of liquor. Now he's helping contribute to the underage drinking problem. That's what's wrong with this. That is what's wrong with this. Why are you giving a 19-year-old kid liquor, Pete?
Oh, this guy's 19.
19 or 20, whatever he is. He's underage. Why are you giving an underage kid liquor, Pete? Why? If the Cardinals stink, but if the Cardinals won the championship, they'd have to have the 20-year-old somewhere celebrating differently, or they got to water down the celebration because he's not supposed to be around beer and liquor and all that shit. And you're giving this kid a bottle of liquor as a present because of your fuck up.
I like
society, Pete.
I like the morality clause reach.
do better, Pete. There's no way you're supposed to be giving this kid liquor. He's never had liquor before. Wink, wink. You never had liquor before. Don't do that.
Yeah, that you know of, right?
Yeah.
Jude, you took it upon yourself to tag me in a Discord that this happened because you've been trolling me relentlessly ever since the whole. Well, yeah, you've been trolling me relentlessly ever since the whole Pete maybe traded thing. What did you think about the whole thing?
It's just a classless thing. Classless Mets as always. Pete Alonso, he robbed this kid of a perfectly feel-good moment. The Cardinals are having an awful season, and this guy gets his first hit. He could have just waited 5 seconds, given someone in St. Louis the ball, but instead he just throws it. You know, they talk about unwritten rules all the time, and Mets fans are like, oh, yeah, this is great. Good job, Pete. I'm proud of you. But Lord knows if it was on the other side, they'd be crying bloody murder. And then if they hit him, like if they hit Pete the next pitch, I wouldn't have even been upset. Good. That's what should happen.
Wow. What?
This is an incredible bit. I really
this is
incredible bit.
He is putting on his Sunday's best.
Ain't no way in hell you're serious about this.
Well, I'm not completely serious.
I know you're not, but I appreciate that. I tell you to bring the bullshit that you be saying into the pod all the time. So keep on.
But no, in all seriousness, I mean, he probably did make a mistake. It is what it is. But it is kind of funny to paint him as classless and Mets fans as classless for endorsing it. But really, it's just a mistake. And honestly, the Cardinals, they're not some victim franchise. They've accomplished enough. This isn't like the Oakland A's or apparently the New York Yankees now. They are victim franchises.
All right, shut up.
No. I mean, you're seeing. No. I want to talk about this right quick because you're seeing on Twitter. Apparently, the Yankees are a victim franchise right now. This is pain. This is horrible pain. They're 4 or 5 games under 500, and this is the worst thing that's happened to baseball since I don't even know.
The hyperbole surrounding the Yankees being 500 or maybe a game or two under has definitely sounded like the Titanic suck. It's really been a tragic story. We got one Yankee fan getting threats, like death threats, hit him with a statement.
Buddy, that tweet was out.
That tweet was
brother.
He was like, it's not that serious, you know. If fans want to still support the Yankees, you know, I'm like, death threats, because apparently maybe a week before they were like, we're going to all come together and voice our displeasure at the game. Meet me in section 220. And we're going to sit there and yell fire Cashman. And I'm just like, so wouldn't it make more sense to not go to the game, not spend money, go to the ballpark instead of, you know, I don't think you guys know how to not support a team. It's not by going and voicing displeasure. But hey, man, I've said it before, and you know, I've said it to Kev. You have the worst fan base in history because they expect a championship every single year. And the minute they don't get it, they pretend like it's the end of the fucking world. But yet they always remind everybody to look at the rings, baby. Look at the rings.
7 rings.
But never act like they've been there before. I don't get it. If my team won so many championships and been tying the hog for forever, I think that's enough for me, especially that you've seen it in your lifetime. But they really really, not everybody, not every Yankee fan, but a good amount just can't take what's going on right now. Like, yo,
Terroristic
why?
threats for terroristic threats for being 5 games under 500 is really quite surreal. Like these weren't just like I hate the Yankees.
terroristic threats for being 120 games under 500 is insane. I don't
Yes,
like over baseball, motherfucker. It's baseball, bro.
Why are they smiling? Why?
That's
Why?
baseball.
Why are they smiling? They should be upset. I'm like,
brother. Oh my god, they've been doing that for weeks now. Every time somebody smiles, they go, "Oh, look at them smiling!
look at that! Look at that!
I'm sorry that the man who signed a $360 million contract had something to smile about. Like, excuse me, sorry that he enjoys his life. He's not gonna be miserable in the dugout all the fucking time. Oh, they're
Right.
losing. Okay, I mean, they're losing on the field. Come on, in the technical sense, yes, correct.
Come on, Kevin. They gotta be there like this.
Yeah, right. They gotta be mad as all the time. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. Everybody's not Paul O'Neill. Excuse the fuck out of me.
Right. Yeah.
Paul O'Neill hitting fucking coolers with his bat and all of that. Like everybody's not.
Right. We're under 500. It's about mean thing.
I'm never gonna smile again. We got a mean mug all the time.
Right. I got a bald head. Like I don't get it, man. It's funny. But the Pete Alonso stuff. The funny about the Pete Alonso thing is, I didn't know so many people hated Pete Alonso until the trade deadline and that baseball. Like I didn't know that people harbored these negative feelings against Pete. Because I thought Pete was just like a lovable dude. Like, hey, looks like a guy you have a beer with. Looks like a guy we have some fun with. I didn't know. I mean, I did say last year.
Like I've known that Braves fans hated him for a while. Outside of that, I had no idea that the hate reached so far.
Right. The hate train is like, you would think that the Mets were like a championship team or something like that, and whatever, and just picking a guy.
Well, Mets fans told us they were going to be a championship team. To be fair,
I mean that's one thing.
Over and over again for the last 2 years, they told us that. Since Uncle Steve took over. By the way, I'm not going to go on too big of a tangent, I promise. But the way Mets fans dick ride Steve Cohen is insane. Like,
hey man,
Uncle Steve, like, bro, get off your knees.
Listen.
Sincere. Get off your knees. Wipe your chin.
If you survive, I guess you could have a documentary called "Surviving Wilpons," because the way the Mets fans act, like the Wilpons had personally violated them. I am waiting for the documentary to drop, "Surviving Wilpons," because they act like Steve Cohen came in and scooped them all up and adopted them like he's Mr. Drummond. And it came.
Steve Cohen ain't did shit but come in and sign some checks, man. Like, and I'm not even sitting here trying to shit on his ownership or nothing like that. He has done nothing special to reinvent the wheel. He's done nothing that another billionaire couldn't do. He came in, he's like, yo, I care about the baseball team. Which, listen, I understand. Baseball owners are so bad that the bare minimum, Al Steinbrenner is my team's owner. I get it. But I will be damned if I'm ever calling some other grown white man uncle.
Save us, Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve. Because he's rich. You're not getting none of his ends, bro.
That's Mr. Drummond right there.
The last thing I'll say about the Yankees, I saw one tweet in which was pretty much like the Yankees have had the toughest season this entire out of the MLB. Not the A's, not any of the horrible teams, but the Yankees. And my response to that was, I mean, the Mets spend like the GDP of like a third world country or something, and I think they're like a game out of last place right now. And they're a game out of last place after spending all of that money.
I feel like the Yankees and Mets are the dead heat. You could argue either one of them is worse than the other. Like,
it's virtually the same. Like the Mets did spend a lot of money, but the Yankees. I mean, again, you're going this historic franchise versus the Mets coming off of a 101 win season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they paid a bunch of money to keep Scherzer and get Verlander and stuff like that. But the Mets don't have that history. The history that we have is always surrounded by negativity. If it wasn't like a second half collapse or getting to the World Series and not winning or winning 101 games getting eliminated, there's nothing positive associated with the Mets in recent history.
You can certainly
even though
negativity, right, Grump?
Huh?
You can relate to the negativity, right, Mr. Grump?
I'm a Mets fan. I'm never negative about the Mets. Only the Jets.
I don't understand that, to be honest with you. I've been
only the Jets.
for weeks, and I'm just like, wow, look, it's like one of them memes. Like you ever seen the meme on Twitter where it's like men arguing about sports versus like men talking about porn, and it's like
Right.
arguing about sports, just everybody throwing hands and everybody just sitting in a circle. That's you to come to the Jets and the fucking Mets. Like the Jets is like, yeah, negativity. The Mets is like, it'll be okay. Sign Pete. It'll be okay. Sign this. It'll be okay. They'll be back next. They won 101 games last year. Yeah, they haven't won a World Series since I've been on the planet. But they'll be back next year. They'll be fine. Yeah.
Listen,
it's like what
the Mets
case from me. Like who is this? It's not Case.
The Mets have given me 2 World Series appearances since the '86 World Series. The Jets haven't done anything substantial other than the AFC Championship. I've seen 3 times.
Other than AFC Championship, that's a pretty good fucking deal. So.
I mean, listen. I haven't seen them in a championship. I've at least had false hope for the Mets. Like I had Mets Yankees Subway Series. Like the Jets can't give me that unless it's Jets Giants.
Brother, if you're gonna sit here and you're gonna look me in my face on this podcast and tell me you have false hope after they beat New England, I'm gonna call you a liar.
No. I didn't say I didn't have false hope. I'm saying what the Mets gave me was they were actually in a championship. Like to be in it and be like, oh, you can now.
So the Mets break your heart even more, but you like them more.
I think the Jets broke my heart more. I don't think the Mets broke my heart more. I think the Jets broke my heart more.
Brother, the Mets lost 3 World Series a year in your time, or 2?
2.
2015 and 2000, and they lost to the big bad hated Yankees. On top of
that was tough. The Yankees one was tough. I lost the bet for that one. I really thought we were going to win that.
And they lost the Royals.
The Royals hurt more because they were the Royals. Like they were the fucking Royals. But yeah, it's the Royals. Like it hurt more. But the thing with the Jets though, I think for me personally, I'm more invested in the football season, and I know that window is small, and the Jets never figured out how to fit in that window. The Mets have figured out how to fit in the baseball window and at least gone. The Jets like, all right, this is the best chance for you to get there. And if you don't get there, the fall off, the roster turnover, the injuries, everything like that. Football is one of those things that the turnover happens so quick unless you're a dynasty. We're not a dynasty. So getting to the AFC Championship 2 years in a row and not going to the Super Bowl, it's like, yo, your window is closed.
Hey, those of you in the Discord, we have now found an explanation as to why Andrew Case is so grumpy. Here it is, live and direct on the podcast, episode 136. Okay. We got it. Why Case is so fucking grumpy all the goddamn time. We got it.
Win one. You get to the Super Bowl, win one. You know what I mean? Listen, one of these teams is gonna make me die happy. The Mets or the Jets. I'll give one of the Knicks. The Mets and the Jets are gonna be the reason why I die happy. One of them has to do it. One of them. I would prefer the Mets, but if the Jets did it, you could take them to the planet the next day. But that would be it. I wouldn't watch football ever again if the Jets win the Super Bowl. I'd turn on TV. I'm going out on top, like Jordan.
I feel you, Brian Grumper. I feel you.
Brian Grumper. I don't know if I like that or hate that one.
That was the point.
That was pretty good. I like it. But listen, man, I want to go out like the GOAT. You know what I mean? I want to go out like the GOAT. Speaking of GOAT, a GOAT conversation has happened on the No Chill with Gil show.
Are you the best point guard ever?
Yes.
I'm not laughing because it's like unbelievable. It's just he just said yes, like no hesitation whatsoever.
There's more context to that clip. He did mention Magic, and he also said, I mean, how should he feel? And if I'm Steph Curry, 4 championships, revolutionizing the game, the greatest shooting guard. When I say shooting guard, I don't mean shooting guard position, shooting guard, period. Like a guard who can shoot, the best ever. I understand his argument. But in totality, do I agree with Steph Curry being the best point guard ever? No. I have my reasons, but we'll get to it. I know I will start with you, Jude. I don't know how well versed you are in the NBA, but you've seen Steph Curry.
Yes, I've seen Steph Curry. He has an argument. The only thing I'll say is he has an argument for it. I mean, just from what I've seen and just from my limited knowledge of NBA, it's really hard to find guys better at what he does than Steph Curry. And all around, and maybe defense is a bit iffy just from my casual knowledge, but everything else is like it's hard to find a guy better than him. So him saying yes, I'm the best point guard. It's not something I would laugh at. It's not like Dylan Brooks saying yes, he's the best at anything. It's a player that's actually good at the sport saying yes, he's good at the sport. He's one of the best. So yeah, that's my input. I mean, it's logical.
I know where Kev falls in this argument. So I'm not going to go to Kev next because I know where he's going to say.
You don't know where I fall on this.
You said it multiple times.
I have never said Steph was the greatest point guard of all time.
Okay, well, all right. So well then, Kev, go ahead.
All right. So I will start by going off the grid. It's like, can we as a collective, can we stop with the Steph Curry's humble thing? Please, can we stop? He is not fucking humble, and I don't. And let me make myself clear. I like people who aren't humble, brother. If I flipped cups the way Steph Curry shoots basketball, I wouldn't be humble. Like, humble about what? Like Klay Thompson said, one of my favorite basketball quotes ever. They asked him about Steph's humility. He said he just looked at the camera and said, "Would a humble man shoot those shots?" And said nothing else. Like the perfect encapsulation of what I'm talking about. The man is not fucking humble. And the thing is with the Steph people or the Chef Curry stands, whatever you want to call them, they love to get on LeBron for calling himself the GOAT. So that it was really funny seeing that quote. I was like, oh, so their man's is not humble either. What a fucking surprise. It's almost like when you're one of the 10 best to ever do something, you're probably not going to be fucking humble. What a surprise. Now, to the question. Magic is clearly more accomplished. Like, there's no arguments there. He's clearly more fucking accomplished. And he has the longevity argument, and the numbers argument in totality, fine. I didn't watch much of Magic, and I don't necessarily like commenting on people I didn't watch. Now, an educated guess based on what I have seen as far as YouTube and what older people tell me, based on what Magic is, you forced me to pick one, I'm probably going to pick Steph. But it's one of those, like, I'm not really firmly invested in either side. I'm typically going to go with the guy I've seen over the guy I haven't or haven't seen much of. That's just how I am. But I don't get involved because I don't have a fucking PhD in Magic Johnson's career. I didn't watch it, so I'm just not going to comment that much. But I will say this. Every time this topic comes up, people start talking about pure point guards, and it makes me want to do bodily harm to people. Shut the fuck up about pure point guards. Because guess what? If we're going to say Steph Curry is not a pure point guard because X, Y, Z, ABC, whatever, like he shoots too much or he comes off, like Steph, there's a reason that Mike D'Antoni was obsessed with Steph. There's a reason. If you put Steph in a system where you're just, all right, what are we going to do? We're going to put 4 shooters. We don't even give a fuck if they play defense. We don't give a fuck what they do. We're going to put 4 shooters around Steph and run high pick and rolls to death. Steph would average 75 assists a game. He'd probably tire himself out in the process, as opposed to what he does now, where he can stay off ball because he's the most terrifying offensive player on the planet. So, like, you can't leave him for any period of time whatsoever. Stop telling me, because if we're going to sit here and go by roles, we're going to go by roles and we're going to go by, well, this guy has this many assists, this guy, then you know who the best point guard of all time is? LeBron James. If we're going to go with that, the best point guard of all time is LeBron fucking James. But they will never tell you that, all while telling me this, that, or third about pure point guard and pure point guard. Miss me with it. Both Magic and Steph have great arguments. That's basically my fence writing take of all of this. And if you force me to take one, like I'm starting a team, it's clean draft, whatever, I would lean towards Steph because Steph is just terrifying on the ball, off the ball, and you don't need really good offensive players around him to have a really good offense in a way that I can't say for most of the players in NBA history. So I'd take Steph.
I have no problem with Steph Curry in his comment. Everyone should feel like they're the best. I say that we're the best. You know what I mean? We have the best fucking sports podcast ever. I don't care about Cameron's podcast. I don't care about whoever Joe Rogan experience, whatever. I feel
Also, I'd like to point out that I work for the same company that Cameron does. That's one of my favorite fun
that's
facts. I work for the same company
shout
that
out,
Cameron does.
shout,
That's
shout
fire.
out, shout out
I
to
love it.
shout out to Underdog,
I love it.
Underdog Fantasy.
Yeah,
Um,
get back to your
but
point.
yeah, like you're supposed to feel like you're the best, right? Like people like when everyone's Cameron is bringing a different flavor. Like in my head, I'm like, man, we've been doing this shit for how long? Talking however we want, whatever pause and stuff like that. We've been doing that, right? So I personally feel like we're the best fucking podcast, sports podcast ever, right? Whatever you're supposed to feel it, and the accolades are supposed to support how you feel, right? We're not like loony bin like lunatics, right? So there's a part where there's confidence, and there's a part where it's like, well, we get the numbers to back it. Steph has the numbers to back it. Um, as far as measuring errors and goats and stuff like that, to be fair, Steph Curry has the numbers of an athletic point guard. Like he's averaging like 20, 25, 26,
Yeah, 25 a game
6,
for his career.
yeah, 25, 6 and 5. That's like a great season for an athletic point guard. Like if Baron Davis had that year 1 year, it's like, oh my god, like he's an MVP. You know what I mean? Or like a little bit of Russell
Steve
Westbrook, who he had
Francis.
like the
Yeah.
Steve Francis, like guys like that. But the thing that he doesn't do as well as other point guards, like he's not the best. Like Drew would say, he's not the best defender. He was a best defender when he was younger. He's not the best. Not the
He's
best
average.
passer.
Like,
He's average,
there.
but
He's not.
yeah,
He's not bad.
he's not the best passer. We've seen way better passes of the basketball. But what he did though, what Steph Curry did, and so this is what to Gilbert Arenas' point. You watch these kids play, and they're playing like Steph. You know what I mean? They are taking ridiculous threes. They're taking these step back. They're turning around. Blah blah blah. Steph has revolutionized the point guard position to like it's almost like the quarterback position. Who has the ball the most? The quarterback. Who has the ball the most? Traditionally, the point guard. So why the older point guards are averaging like 10 and 8, and it's like, oh man, he's so great. It's like you have the ball 80% of the time, you're averaging 10 points. Like I don't get it.
Like, bro, you'll have people look you dead in the face and be like, I like Chris Duhan's a real point guard and Steph is not. And it's like, shut up, dog. Shut the fuck up. Like, that's your idea of a real point guard because, oh my God, he comes up and he initiates the offense. What are we doing here? What are we doing? And they'll tell you that and they'll be dead. They'll be dead fucking
serious.
I was having a Steph Curry versus Jason Kidd argument, and they're just like, well, Jason Kidd's a pure point guard. I'm like, brother, Jason Kidd was named ASIN for like 15 years because he had no J. Like, and that's not the only aspect of basketball. And Jason Kidd is incredible, one of my favorite players of all time. Understood. But if we're gonna, he runs the offense and Steph doesn't. You're penalizing Steph for his surroundings because, and the fucked up thing is, if Steph played for like, let's say the Rockets, like you sub him in for Harden, right? And did similar stuff to what Harden was doing, but let's say like they had tougher luck and they never won a championship. Nobody would give a fuck about his assists per game then. It would just be, this guy has all these numbers and has one shit. Like, part of the reason they win is because of how they use Steph. They use him as a fucking weapon of mass destruction against defenses. It doesn't matter if he has the ball or he doesn't.
Give me Trae Young.
I feel like Steph does a good job of running the offense, though. Like, you see him when Draymond's not there. It's not like the offense just completely stagnates without him. So it's like,
I'm going to make a weird comp, but I'll make it. Steph, how they use Steph is kind of similar to how Buffalo used Josh Allen in 2022. I'll explain. They don't want Josh Allen just running up and down 20 times a game, right? But we watched enough of Buffalo. They're in our division. Brother, when the fourth quarter came and Buffalo was down 20-13, they broke out that break glass in case of emergency shit with Josh left, Josh right, Josh middle. That's kind of how the Warriors are with Steph. It's all right. We're not gonna when the Warriors sit there and be like, all right, what we're gonna do 1-5 high pick and rolls, bro. They destroy teams. Now, Steph being on the ball all the fucking time, you're probably gonna tire him out. That's how this works. So they use it sparingly. But like if they just go an entire quarter to spam pick and rolls, they'll destroy people. Like that's just how it goes. They don't because they don't have to. Like Draymond is an incredible initiator of offense, so they let him and Steph split the fucking duties. Why that's being used against Steph when we've seen what he can do when they just let him spam high pick and rolls, I have no idea. We love to project until it comes time to project Steph Curry's point guard skills. Then all of a sudden we don't project no more. And we just go by, oh well, he's only averaging 6 a game. It's like you think he's incapable of doing more? He just does less because they win. That's it.
It's weird because I know Steph could probably average 8 to 10 assists if he had to, if he needed to, because we've seen him do it. Doesn't have to, and somebody who shoots as good as him shouldn't have to. You should be getting him the ball. That's why That's why he has 2 scoring titles. That's why he's shooting, 10 3-pointers a game. That's why he's revolutionized the game of basketball, not just the point guard position, the game of basketball and how it's being played. And only a few guys get to come into the league and change how a sport is played. Like we give Jordan a lot of credence for being this person who revolutionized the game because he came in as a Sixers guard in the land of the bigs and dominated. Doesn't mean there weren't good guards that played when Jordan played. There was a lot of good guards, but Jordan, what he did was allow you to say we don't need to center the offense around a 7-footer. We can center the offense around someone else. For a while, you didn't see nothing different. When LeBron comes in, it's like LeBron didn't revolutionize the game in the same way, but he was a hybrid of a Jordan, a Pippen, a Magic in one. Like every time I hear LeBron's name, they always add someone else, a different player. Like, yo, he's Moses Malone, he's Oscar Robertson, he's Michael Jordan, he's They add different things. So LeBron may not have revolutionized the game in that way, it's like changed how the game is played. But he was like, yo, I'm a Swiss Army knife. I'm Magic Johnson on steroids. I'm 6'9" Jordan. You know what I mean? Like it changes things. And all of a sudden, you think the game can't change any further. And here comes another kid from Akron who shoots fucking lights out, 35-foot 3-pointers, half-court shots, 3 points from the corner, turning around, like no doubt, circus shot. Like it's a lot. Does that to me make Steph Curry to go? No, I think Magic Johnson, of course, is slightly better. I think when it comes to total numbers, because his career kind of got off to a rockier start, he may not have the same. He's never going to have the same assist totals and steals totals or whatever like Stockton and Paul and Magic, whatever. But none of those guards I've mentioned or ever mentioned is going to be or will never be because it's already too late for them or anyone maybe come close in the future as being the best shooting point guard or shooting guard, period. So, if that's the way the debate goes, I mean, I have no problem with whoever you choose, but Steph is ridiculous. He's lights out. Moving on to the sport that everybody loves us to talk about, the NFL. Breaking news: Johnathan Taylor, and the Indianapolis Colts agreed, or I don't think he agreed, but it's hey, you want to leave? Okay, find a team.
Mm-hmm.
Find a team. Hey, and if you find one and the offer's good, peace. Jude, is this news surprising to you?
Is it surprising to me? I mean, no, not really. We've seen how the league treats running backs. They're a dime a dozen. You come in, you go out. You think you're disposable. It is what it is. It's a slight shame that the Jets signed Dalvin Cook 5 days too early. Well, actually, almost 7 days too early. Because I would have kind of considered looking into Johnathan Taylor, at least taking the temperature of what his trade compensation would be. But it is what it is. I'm sure. And the thing is, I don't know where he can possibly go at this moment right now. It's not going to be New England or the Jets, maybe the Dolphins, but I don't know. But that's the only team they were in on Cook, so we'll see what happens.
I don't see why Miami would make a trade for Johnathan Taylor when they could have signed Cook for less. I think Kevin asked, is this conditional, like all the picks? So the Colts want pretty much a first-round pick package, either picks that equal up to a first-round pick, or it was 2, right? Multiple first? Either
a first-round pick or whatever combination of picks.
Right. So 2 second-round picks or how many thirds you need, whatever.
Right.
This yeah,
Some
can
sort
this
of package,
yeah,
some sort of package, yeah.
yeah, some sort of package. I don't see why the Dolphins would have. I mean, I can see why they do it. I don't understand why they would now at this point. Because they pretty much let Cook leave the building without a real offer. Now, would you trade assets for a guy, and you should extend him? He wants rumored 14 million a year. Don't think so. Um, a team that could possibly get Taylor, if Madden brain, I would say the Chiefs because they need a running back. I guess, but realistically,
I feel like it'd
uh,
be a team in the NFC. And if it's a
I
team in the
mean,
NFC,
running. I don't think people are scared of running backs in Portland. They don't want to trade them in the division. But if it was an NFC team, bro, I don't know, man. Who's dumb enough? The Commanders? I don't know who's dumb like in the '90s. That's definitely a thing that a Washington football team would do. I don't know about now.
Cowboys, I could see the
No,
Cowboys maybe.
they're
Oh,
invested in. They were invested to the was it Vaughn?
Vaughn.
They were
Oh,
yeah, and
Vaughn too.
Pollard.
Pollard and
Yeah.
Vaughn,
Yep,
yeah.
Pollard and
Oh,
Vaughn. So they're not gonna do that. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. Somebody's gonna what they say kick the tires on that, but who knows? What's your thoughts, Kev?
As far as is it surprising? No, I feel like this was always where this was headed. I will kind of be surprised if he actually gets traded because the Colts are telling us that they think he's replaceable, which
Mm-hmm.
I think the Colts stink anyway. So I think they're right. I think he's replaceable. I think they're going to be bad. They can find somebody else to be the deodorant that covers their stink a little bit, but not too
Right.
much. Like I think they stink, but um, they also want to then charge a first round pick for his services. Me knowing the contract limbo is what it is now. If the Colts come off of their price a little bit, maybe it gets done. If they are hell bent on getting first round capital or something equivalent to it, then this is going to go one of two ways. Like Johnathan Taylor is going to hold out and say fuck the Colts and not play, which I can't see that happening. Or Johnathan Taylor is going to report. Like that's how this is going to go. I don't think nobody's trading a first round pick for this guy and then having to give him a contract. It doesn't make any fucking sense. When you could
Right.
legitimately just take a back yourself. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody's doing that. So it's just if they come off the price, I could see it. As far as teams that make sense, I actually think there are a few. It just depends if they're willing. If Jonathan Taylor is willing to just play under the contract, if he's just like on fuck the Colts time, but is willing to play under the last year of his deal for somebody else, the Eagles make sense if they're willing to go there. I don't think they should, guys. Their running game is going to kill people regardless. But it would be complete chaos watching Jalen Hurts and Taylor behind that line. Good fucking grief. And then it's like, oh, well we can't load up the box because you got AJ and you got Devontae and you got Goddard. That'd be chaos.
hmm
The Bears make some sense. Like they already showed they're willing to do that, to do trades like this when they traded for Chase Claypool. That hasn't worked out, to be fair, but similar idea, right? So that makes sense. The Chiefs make sense. I doubt they do that because on top, like they haven't even signed their own best defensive player yet. So I highly doubt that they're going to
Yeah.
be like, oh, you know what? Let's go get a Jonathan Taylor. Meanwhile, Chris Jones, where's my fucking money? You know what I mean? So I doubt
Right.
they're going to do that. There are quite a few teams that make sense if A, they're willing to just be a win now team. B, the Colts drop their price a little bit, and C, signing a contract is not, a requirement here. Which I could see that being the case. I could see Taylor being like, "Yo, I don't necessarily need a contract for somebody else. I just don't want to be here no more because y'all see me every day." And y'all don't want to give me the fucking money, so get me the fuck up out of here. Maybe the next team will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But one way or the other, I'll be a free agent after the year. I don't have to be around these fucking people anymore.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Um. Man, listen. I don't know. I don't. When it comes to stuff like this, can't call it, especially at this point in time in the season, because it's like, all right, it's August 21st. We got what one more preseason game left, and then we
There's a
get
game
ready
in
for the
three
regular
weeks.
season. Right. So it's like at this point in time, like it just happened. If this was between free agency and training camp, I'm like, all right, cool. There's gonna be a bunch of teams, but right now you're asking for a lot with a short window, and I don't see it. I mean, but hey, I'm not an expert. That's not my calling. You know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. It most likely happens during the season, maybe trade deadline. We'll see. But speaking of preseason, this is going to scare Jude and give him nightmares. Aaron Rodgers will play the final tune-up game in the preseason versus the Giants. Most likely it's just going to be a series. Duh, he's not going to be in there for like a whole quarter or anything like that. But he'll be there for a drive, depending on how he feels. Mixed reviews, of course, because of the things situation, offensive line, and who's coming back. But the timing of it is very interesting because Dwayne Brown is expected to be back and pass the physical, and all signs are pointing that Mekhi Becton will be practicing with the ones at right tackle. So is this coincidence, Kev, or planned perfectly?
I did read something. I forgot to share it earlier because I've been busy. I did read something with regards to Mekhi that they laid it out like this was it orthodontist, whoever, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That that they laid out a plan and the Jets are following it. Take that for whatever it's worth.
That's what Rich Cimini reported. Yeah.
Right. So take that for whatever it's worth. Now, as far as the timing with the lineman, I mean, I don't think Dwayne Brown's getting preseason reps. So I don't. And I mean, back then, I don't know if they're going to play him with the first team. I have no idea. Come Friday or Sunday or whatever the fuck the preseason game is, I have no idea. So I don't know if this is a coincidence. I will say, as far as Rodgers playing in the preseason, listen, professional athletes or any of us, any civilian, any professional athlete, we could get hurt doing whatever the fuck. It could be getting out of bed. It could be walking up the street. It could be you could be in the supermarket. You could slip on something in the supermarket. You could do a full split and fuck yourself up. You can get hurt doing whatever you want. Aaron Rodgers was going to have to play football eventually, number one. Number two, he's already practicing, even though Jude wanted him to not practice the entire summer, which is fucking
no OTAs. You want him in bubble wrap.
Like Rodgers is just some kind of god that could just walk in without any fucking practice and do right. Yeah. So like this is what he wanted, and now he's doing this over what should be like 5 plays, hopefully. So, and the thing is, look. If you asked me to a man, would I rather him just sit his ass down? Yes. This is not about my opinion. This is about who the opinion is coming from. This is all this is about. Because Sir Bitch-a-lot would be doing the most if Rodgers didn't practice or Rodgers didn't play, whatever, right? He comes out, they go 3-and-out 3 times against the Bills to start the game. And Jude would be in a panic. You can look at the tweets and see some bullshit. You would at the Discord probably see some bullshit. If it came from anybody else, I wouldn't even bat an eye. It's because it's him. It's because it's you. Why this is in the show? It's because of you. Why we was going back and forth in the Discord? It's because it's you.
Look, all I'm just saying is that I know football players have to play. I know that, but the thing is,
because you're arguing against it for like 2 months now. Do you know?
But I do know with Rodgers, I would much prefer him just to wait the regular season. The risk and reward of playing him in the preseason, there is no reward to playing him in preseason. We're not going to look back in December and be like, wow, those preseason reps really did a wonder for Rodgers. The risk, it's there. I don't want to speak it. The risks are there. The reward, there's none. Wait till the regular season. You know, these last couple of years, Rodgers has been rusty in the regular season. Early in the regular season, there have been some nasty score from the Packers, some nasty stat lines from Rodgers. It happens. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened this year. I would not be surprised. But you know what? Those previous years, he's won MVPs. Packers have gone to the NFC Championship game. You can deal with a little bit of rust in the regular season. I don't. What does seeing him in the preseason do for anyone? It doesn't do anything for me. He goes down and he throws a touchdown. Okay. You could do that week 1. Go on. Yes, Kev.
Do you know who disagrees with you?
I'm curious to see who disagrees with me, Kev.
Aaron Rodgers.
Bingo. Bingo. The guy
who's in it is like,
right.
I want because if Aaron Rodgers said, look, I'm not playing, who gonna tell him no? Who gonna tell him otherwise?
Nobody.
Aaron Rodgers run the ship. Nobody tell him shit. For better or worse. Ain't nobody tell him nothing. like outside of Hackett, like I think Hackett can say whatever he wants. So they got that kind of relationship. Outside of
Right.
nobody can tell him nothing. If he was like, "Yo, listen, I see you September 11th," guess who would be playing September 11th? Aaron Rodgers. He said
Right.
himself
See,
he needs reps.
and that's what it should have been. That's what he should have said. Salah should be like, you know what? I appreciate your enthusiasm, Rogers, but we gotta
Brother,
protect.
I hate to play this card. I'm the last person who acts like after life. It's back. I'm the last person to play this card because I don't believe that professional athletes should just be. I don't believe that professional athletes should be able to spout whatever stupid fucking opinions because and have it be gospel because they're professional athletes. But I feel like this situation is kind of well. We're talking about the professional athlete actually at his job and him and what he thinks it takes for him to perform said job. And we got Jude Truth
Why
with
are
a
we
fucking
doing this?
microphone and a keyboard talking about
Oh, you're
could
really
Rob
pulling
go this
this.
way? How could he think such a thing? We're not going to look
You're
at
really
it.
pulling the man with a podcast card on me. Wow.
Yes, yes,
Pulling
yes.
this
The man with
card
the
on.
pot, yes. As hypocritical as
On
it is, considering
as
I'm a
a as
man.
a
Yes,
as a
I'm a man
member
with
of
a
the
podcast
pod,
with
calling
you.
out somebody on the
Like you a man with a podcast and a fucking mic talking about Aaron Rodgers. Like, why does he feel like it's going to benefit him? I don't know because he's Aaron fucking Rodgers. I don't know what it takes for him to be Aaron Rodgers. I just know that he does it.
yo.
And
That's
I mean, if it weren't against the Giants, because the Giants have a weird history of like going super hard against quarterbacks. We saw what happened with Mark Sanchez. We've seen some crazy hits over the years. That's why I'm a bit. I mean, look.
but Mark
If
Mark
I'd be
played
surprised if Aaron
didn't
Rodgers
didn't
held the ball long enough to be getting in preseason.
right.
I'd be surprised.
And didn't Mark play too long in that game?
yes,
They didn't wreck.
Rex.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Rex
wreck
put
your
him.
boy. Well, what happened? Hold on. Wait a minute. Kev. Let's do a little history lesson. So this Snoopy Bowl that Jude, has become a hypochondriac over. A part of that reason is because Mark Sanchez got hurt in a meaningless
Yes,
preseason game
yes,
because
he
his
did.
beloved coach, right,
Yes,
Dr. Scholes,
yes.
aka Rex Ryan,
Dr. Scholes. Feet sweat.
feet sweat, decided to keep his quarterback in for too long.
Yes, Rex Ryan did that, and that was
Your boy,
It's a
your
poor
boy.
decision. Yes, it was. Yes, it was a poor decision, and
Mm.
that's why
And
I'm
that's
just
what,
like,
and that's why you want him
And
back.
you want him, and this is you feel that Salah's going to be that stupid to say, "Come on, Rodgers, go out for an extra series in a meaningless preseason game."
look. All I'm saying, and there were
Because
people in the Discord.
Rex to this machismo, we got to beat the Giants.
There
We
were
played the
people
Giants
in
in a
the
regular
Discord.
season game this year. Just
There
saying.
were people in the Discord who were like, "Hey, we've seen Mahomes play, we've seen Allen play, all those guys." And I'm like, "That's great. That's wonderful.
We
That's
have.
good for them." Look, I would be like, you know what, Rodgers, you don't have to play in preseason. It's fine. Take it off. Stay as short.
And then he would,
Enjoy yourself.
and then he would tell you he don't want to.
Right. I'm playing. He'll tell you I'm playing.
I'm
And
playing.
listen, I think all right. So let's just look at it from this perspective. Because like I said earlier, like asked if it's planned or not. I don't think it was planned. Kev did say he goes to think Dwayne Brown plays preseason. Um, I think he definitely practices at least this week. He needs to. I think Beckham does get inserted into the with the ones. I hope. You know what I mean? Like by now, like if that doesn't happen by now, it's like I don't know what's going on. We haven't heard anything definitive yet. But the timing is interesting. Interesting. Brown, coming back and the possibility of Becton playing. I think Rodgers is playing regardless because he needs that tune up in live action with his starters against, whatever. I don't know if the Giants are planning to play their first string defense. Maybe they will for that series, maybe they won't. Don't know. Am I concerned? No. Am I like, oh, listen, guys get hurt. Guys get hurt in practice. Season-ending injuries in practice. So unless you're not going to be on the field at all, it's always a possibility that you're going to get hurt. Now, of course, the worst thing to happen is getting hurt in the preseason game, the worst. But I think the Jets pretty much have a game plan to say, hand off, one pass. If you get a first down, all right, let's maybe throw a little dink and dump, not put you in harm's way. You know what I mean? At worst, the Jets have a long, sustaining drive. At worst. and he's on the field longer than you need him to be, at best, it's a 3 and out. It is going to run through a couple of motions, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to at least try to get him at least two two significant series in that drive. You know what I mean? To see what he has, what they have working with him, because it's been pretty vanilla. And also, this is final preseason, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be like a tailgate. Everybody, you probably just upsold a bunch of tickets. Like, listen, we just final pre. Let's just gear up for this season, regular season. But it's not. I don't think there's anything to be concerned about.
I'm just still mad. I'm just still mad that Kev really said the man from microphones telling the professional athlete what to do. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't even trying to be like, why did you do that, Kev? I'm trying not to be the man with the microphone here, but sheesh.
I mean,
you really pulled that on me.
Listen, you disagree with Aaron Rodgers about what's best for Aaron Rodgers.
It's crazy.
Especially coming from Jude, who's been bad mouthing Rodgers his entire career, and now he's a Jet. He's like put him in bubble wrap, pack his bag, give him a onesie, protect him. Like,
I was saying the crib, we don't want to get mono. Like,
right,
we want nothing ruining this for us.
Right. Convince him to get back.
All them years.
Right.
What a fucking fraud.
Convince him to get vaccinated and all that other stuff.
Okay.
More rumors coming out of training camp. Rich Simeon had an interesting article. By interesting, I mean whatever. Clickbait. That U Stadium ran with about the possibility of Corey Davis getting cut, not making the roster. Amongst other things was the what needs to happen, and of course Beckham getting into the lineup ones. That was definitely a topic of conversation. Been a battle in many a Discord, but Beckham did his damnedest to prove that he belongs with the one by destroying a lot of people against the Bucks. Like he headbutt that dude. That was like, I don't know what everybody, he headbutt him. Like, he kind of missed with his hands and he just caught him one of those, and then homie fell and he made sure he was down. Yeah, he got that nasty streak in him. I can't wait to see him play a bit more. But the meat and potatoes, Corey Davis and the possibility of getting cut. Now, we had a big conversation this morning in Discord, and the reason why we had the conversation was because what Kev had said is, Kev had responded to it, and I just said, hey, I feel like business-wise, it wouldn't make the least amount of sense. Maybe on the field with coaches, but business-wise, Corey Davis has played 19 games in 2 seasons. His production has been, when he's there, it's been okay. You know what I mean? He's not the greatest. He hasn't been, I think it was like second in yards per catch last year. It was 16.8. But if something were to happen, and they're just like, look, you missed most of camp with the illness, personal time, whatever, and they were fed up with him. Non-guaranteed money, $10.5 million. Business-wise, I felt like it does make sense. Now, if the business is on the field, absolutely not, considering our wide receiver cores, but in the business itself, I just feel like, hey, if they were, I would understand. I wouldn't be happy, wouldn't be upset, but I would understand. But they're just kind of painting themselves in this corner anyway, because the rumors before training camp were that Lawson or Davis were going to be cap casualties, right? To everyone's surprise, he weren't. Now, as the season's about to start, people are like, is Lawson going to be on the team? Is Corey going to be on the team? Like, it's kind of at a weird space right now. So I'll let Kev have at it. I know he's waiting.
Look, this is one of those messenger message things again. Like, this whole wide receiver talk coming from you these days is like, I was there for the Juju Smith-Schuster business. I was there for that. That was insane. And we called Corey Davis unproductive this morning, and he's been slightly less productive than a guy who played with 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks the last 4 years and hasn't cracked 1,000 yards in 5 years. That's neither here nor there. To get to Corey Davis, cutting him makes zero fuck. I don't give 2 fucks about what's in Woody's pockets or not. Well, pause. I don't give a fuck about what he's doing. Pause.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Pause.
Watson Woody's.
That was a major one. Good grief.
2 weeks in a row.
I don't care. I don't care about Woody's wallet. That's not my business. So like the business side means nothing to me because if you were gonna cut Corey August 21st, you could have done this 2 months ago and signed an actual realistic replacement, or just
They
put
did
the money
it.
together and sign DeAndre Hopkins. You know, somebody actually worth bitching about, not the damn receiver who plays for the fucking Patriots, not that dude. But yeah, it makes zero actual football sense. And Rich Cimini getting the people going. This is what he does. He is a god tier antagonist. This is what he does. The people who respond to all of his articles knowing this really just confuse me. Like you think he is a conspiracy theorist. I don't. I think he knows what to push buttons with. He does, right? So, and then the same people are reading all of his articles. Like, I understand. How do I say this carefully? Finding good Jets content is difficult. That's how I'll say it. Finding good Jets content is difficult. So I understand why you would need, like, Rich has been doing this for a long time. He is relatively good at his job. You don't stick around this fucking long if you suck. You might not like his methods. That's a different topic altogether. But he's clearly good at his job. I'm not here for him really because I don't need the extra bullshit, and I'm not learning anything reading Rich to me at all. So like I tend to gravitate towards guys like X's and O's guys. I tend to gravitate towards those. I don't need the sensationalism. I don't need the Jets have lost 2 straight, call off the dogs, cut everybody. I don't need all of that shit. Like keep it. But yeah, cutting him just. I'm not, as I've said before, Case brings it up every time I make fun of him about Juju. I'm not a huge fan of the wide receiver core outside of Garrett Wilson. I understand why other people like it. I am not a huge fan of it. I think it's a good core. I prefer dudes who get open at will. That's me. Alan Lazard, I understand why coaches like him. Good red zone threat. You know,
block.
Good one-on-one guy. Yeah, he can block. They love blocking. There aren't many things I care less about than a wide receiver. Maybe that makes me a not real football fan. Cool. I'm sure that will come in handy because they have 2 really good blockers at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. They got Lazard, they got Corey Davis. So if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Would I prefer that they take that money and pour it towards Odell Beckham? Yes. Would I prefer they take that money and put it towards DeAndre Hopkins? Yes. Do the Jets still have one of the best wide receiver cores in the sport in totality? Also, yes. A lot of things can be true at once, even if I'm not a big fan of it. Depth-wise, they have a lot of dudes who could play. So it just is what it is. But Corey Davis is not getting cut. And then last week, what was it? Mekhi Becton's going to get traded. Bro, I am the Jets' backup left tackle right now. What the fuck are you talking about? I am their backup tackle. They don't have any depth. How the Jets – Mekhi Becton is the best tackle on the team, unless you want to count ABT as one. I'm not going to argue with you one way or the other. He projects to be a guard. Of the people who are on the depth chart as tackles, Mekhi is the best one. Dwayne Brown is an average 46-year-old. Max Mitchell most likely stinks. Then Mekhi Becton, his problems have never been what he does when he's between the lines. His problem is getting there and staying there. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, they're gonna trade. Like, they're gonna trade him in the middle of fucking August. Can we use our brains for a second? Like, and quite frankly, you know what? Let me get into my case bag real quick. The tinfoil bag.
Whoa.
Listen, that Rodgers Mekhi little talk at the end of episode 2 of Hard Knocks, they didn't put that shit in there by accident.
No.
Oh.
They didn't put that shit in there by accident. They didn't put that shit. And Rodgers knows what he's doing because Rodgers practices. He plays with the team. He's seen them every day. He's seen how them other people block. There's a reason he's talking about, yo, Mekhi, hey man, let's talk. Let's have lunch. Let's grab a bite to eat. Let's have a good time. He's buttering up his best fucking tackle because the other dudes stink. Like Dwayne Brown, whatever, he's average. Cool. I'm not moving the needle in either direction. But yeah, man, Corey Davis is not getting cut. Mekhi Becton is not getting cut. Mekhi Becton is not getting traded. I understand we are all Rodgers out at this point. Well, Most of us are. I'm not. I'm really not. But a lot of us are. But there gotta be a better angle here than these guys at positions that just can't afford to lose they're just gonna cut them anyway or trade them anyway. Stop. Find a new slant. Thank you.
I mean, I don't have much to add from what Kev said. I mean, Corey Davis is a very solid receiver. I feel like a lot of fans have this weird angst towards him, and it never makes sense. They act like he's like a bum on the field. He's had some first quarter drops, but more than not, in the fourth quarter, he's made some pretty timely and like good catches. And I think he was hurt later last year, if I want to remember correctly. And there was definitely an offensive downfall, besides, of course, the whole quarterback thing when he was out too. So yeah, cutting Corey Davis wouldn't make sense. And Case was talking up some random NPCs on the Jets as people who can replace Corey Davis. And it's like,
I did not say about replacing anybody.
But if Corey Davis is cut, one of these guys are going to replace him.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I'm gonna let you finish.
Right.
I'm gonna let you finish.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's like, who are you going to replace Corey Davis with that will equal his impact, that's done something in the NFL? No one. It's the same thing with Beckham. Got to stop cutting people who are actually good at their jobs. That's all.
All right. Well,
okay.
My rebuttal to Kev, who's like Dan and Jude and the rest of them, who like taking my statements and doing this and stretching them to no return. Juju Smith-Schuster got signed, and I saw the money, and I was pissed because I felt like we could have got him that money instead of getting Lazard, which Kev is on record of saying he didn't want Lazard.
Time out.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'd like to. You're right. But the thing, I would defend myself here. I have never wavered. I don't just all of a sudden like dudes because they play for my favorite team. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not a big fan of Lazard. I see why other people do like him. He's not bad. He's just not my type. Now, with that said, with Juju, I'll pose this question to the listeners. Alan Lazard signed for whatever it was, 4 for 44. I forget what the deal was, right?
Something like that.
Juju signs for a similar 32,
deal. 33. Like it was later, less.
Right, but it was less years. So on
a 3 years.
Right. So this happens, and then Case says, "God damn it," and then starts defending Juju Smith-Schuster. Now,
stop. I did not.
Yes,
see, there you go. There you go. All I said was he had a Super Bowl. That's all I said was he had a Super Bowl. That's not defending him. It's just saying he had a Super Bowl. That's it. He had a Super Bowl. That's it.
Are we doing wide receiver wins? Wide receiver wins for Super Bowl?
If I'm talking shit about Juju Smith-Schuster and you bring up his resume to defend him, how is that not defending him? Please tell me.
I didn't mention any stats or numbers. All I said was
is that
Super Bowl winner.
It
was It's Super Bowl winning receiver. That's all I said. I didn't say
it's killed me because I will tell you you're doing something like knowing, I could pull up the Webster's fucking dictionary definition of the word or put it on the damn screen, and if it's
we don't gotta do that.
No, I'm like
we don't gotta do that. We don't gotta do that. We can pull up the conversation.
No, we don't.
We can pull up the conversation.
We don't have to do it because you're not gonna give me the gratification to tell me I'm right. That's all this is about.
We could pull up the conversation.
Why?
We don't do that.
Why?
Because if we're talking about what happened in comparison to what is being said, brother, money was.
What did I say on this? What did I say?
Look. Hold on. Let's give the context.
Mm-hmm.
Give the context because I want to make sure everybody hears the context. Juju went for 33. Shaking my head. God damn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is your response? Was now we're complaining about Juju.
Correct.
My rebuttal was Super Bowl winning Juju. That was it.
That was not the end of the combo.
Hold on, I said the end of the combo. I said that was it. You said yes, he's the reason why they won the title. You're right. I said you don't like Juju anyway, so I don't understand. Wait, I do. We just started going back and forth. You started bringing up numbers. You were the first person to bring up numbers. I never, bro.
Correct.
My whole stand.
You know why you can't bring up numbers? I'll give you one guess.
I wasn't. The only number. The only number I was focused on was the dollar amount for the guy who I knew was bad, that you said was bad, and the guy who I felt was better for less. That was the only thing.
Here's the thing. Their
You
numbers
hold on.
Their numbers are
You hold
comparable.
on.
Their
Hold
numbers are
on.
comparable.
Hold on. You bring up numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The only number that I cared about was the dollar amount. Because my original conversation was, and this is before Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, the Jets are going out for receivers who don't know what quarterback we have, but we get Lazard because it's like, well, maybe that's an indication of what we're going to get. Remember, Aaron Rodgers was not a Jet yet. When we had Lazard, he was not a Jet yet. And one of the biggest conversation we had, what did I say? I said, I don't want to spend so much money on one dude. We got other quarterback for a little cheaper and spend money on better weapons and put stuff around him. That was the conversation. When the money came up, that's all I was bringing up. But that's besides the point. The fact of the matter is with Corey Davis, right? And the idea of them saying they're going to cut him, rumor has it, and I don't think Rich is pulling a rumor out of his ass for no reason. It's just to me, I'm looking at it like, yo, on a business thing, a guy who hasn't been on the field, he's not on the field right now in training camp, and even when he is at training camp, he's not producing. If they said, yo, we like this guy better, and we want to see what this guy's going to do, who's the odd man out? And that's why I said they just paid themselves in the quarter, because they got a guy like Cobb who has no business being on the team, but he's going to hold a roster slot. So a guy like Corey Davis, who is, I guess you want to say he's a bubble dude on the edge of the roster, he gets cut because it don't cost him anything. They shouldn't even be in this position because, like Jude said, when they got cooked, he said, I would rather see the money have been spent on a better wide receiver, which the Jets felt like they didn't want to spend no money, and they stuck with Corey. For this to even be coming out right now to even be a story that Samini has confidence to say this, it says a lot about what's going on at the Jets organization. Because we're in August, we shouldn't be having this conversation about Corey Davis getting cut. Period. Because you stuck by your guns. He wasn't a pre-training camp cut. You didn't try to trade him. You didn't put no money for a real wide receiver. And now all of a sudden the rumor comes out.
I'm just laughing
He's going
at
to be
Kev's face right now.
because Kev knows exactly what I'm talking about. He knows exactly what I'm
That
talking
is
about.
not why my face is the way it is.
Go ahead.
Listen, whatever you just said, all of it is the last piece from the last word I said to now. It's legitimate. I don't agree with all of it, but it makes sense. Like, I'm not here to tell you it doesn't make sense. Now, I'm going to go back to making fun of Juju because it's fun. It's fun. That's why I'm here. It's fun. Because I don't listen. Let me make myself clear, because you like bringing up my comments on Alan Lazard as if I've ever fucking wavered. I didn't. I'm not a big fan of Alan Lazard as a player. It's not my type. Him and Juju are in the same tier. As somebody said, what's the dude's name in the Discord? Abstract. I don't know what his actual ad is. I got to figure that out one of these days. On Twitter, that is. He said, because we were comparing Corey Davis, Juju, and Lazard. This is the same day that Juju signed and Case had a mini meltdown. Same day. Yes, I'm exaggerating. Shut up, Case. Let me finish. Yes, I'm exaggerating. But he was like, why are we comparing three dudes on the dollar menu? That's exactly how I feel. It's $3 menu items. Like, we're comparing McDoubles and apple pies, bro. Like, none of them are that good. You don't really want them until you're drunk. So that's what it is.
Listen, you walked back Thielen. Did you not walk back on Thielen? Because that was one of the names you mentioned.
Okay. I didn't bitch and moan about it. I said I preferred him, and I left it at that. I didn't bitch and moan when Carolina signed him.
I want you when you get a chance, and you go to Discord, you hit this little search. You hit the little search. You hit from, right? You put my name, Jet Drew. You put Juju, and you read that conversation, and it's Juju do the same thing. And listen, and everybody who's in the Discord, look at that conversation. Look who brings up numbers. Look who starts saying someone's complaining. While I have said, only thing I was talking about was Kevin after that point. I did. Yo, hold on, because again, Kevin's saying I did all of this. I want everybody.
No. We're not going to do this. We're not going to fucking do this.
Kev,
we're doing all of this. No. Here's the thing. Words mean
things. Conversation exists. The conversation exists.
Andrew, let me finish. Words mean
the conversation exists. They do.
Word mean things. What does the word complain mean? I'll pull it up. I don't care.
Yeah, pull up complaint.
Let's
Pull up
look
complaint.
up what the word fucking
Pull up
complaint.
complaint. Pull it up. Because yes.
Meaning. All right. Express dissatisfaction or annoyance about something.
Okay.
Is that not what you did? Yes or no?
Is that what we all do?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
There's levels
All right.
of complaining. Yes.
All
I
right.
understand that. I didn't say you complained for a week. I didn't say you complained for a month. I did not say that. I did not say that. Don't do that. I didn't say.
You didn't say that today?
That you complained for a month? I did not say that. I said we had more than one conversation about Juju, which is true. That's true. I didn't say you complained for a month. Go look it up. I didn't say you complained for a month.
It's the archive, everybody.
Go look it up. Go look it up.
Yo, listen, if people are invested, I will print this out and make a transcript, and I'll have it to tailgate.
Do whatever you
like. I'll show y'all.
Do whatever you like. But it's complain means to express dissatisfaction. When you said "God damn it," that is quite literally expressing dissatisfaction, is it not?
This is quite the spirit of the conversation.
Is it not literally complaining?
Is Juju worth this energy though? Like Juju Smith-Schuster is not worth this energy.
It wasn't. Listen, it wasn't.
Go ahead, Case. Speak.
It wasn't about what Juju's worth, as far as like in value, as far as like, yo, he's better, whatever. It was just the value of the dollar. In comparison, I'm paying this amount of money for Lazard. Like brother, anybody else,
they're getting paid the same amount per year. What are we doing?
Anybody else was available. I felt like Juju was the better available wide receiver in comparison to
Lazard. And nothing backs that up.
That was it.
Nothing backs that up.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Your opinion. We could go this way as far as opinions concerned. That's your opinion. That's my opinion. But
I have facts to back mine. You have feelings.
If you say so. If you say so.
Juju couldn't even 1,000 yards with Patrick fucking Mahomes. What are we talking about?
And we talking about Lazard? Did Lazard crack 1,000 with Aaron fucking Rodgers?
How many times do I have to say
baddest man on the planet?
How many times do I have to say neither one of them is good?
Who did more with what they had? Who did more with what they had?
You don't want to do this.
I'm asking who did more with what they had. I'm asking you, who did more with what they had?
Way more and does nothing. I'll tell you that. Who does more is not the question you want to ask here. You want to say Juju's a better football player? Be my guest. They're in the same tier. That's all I've been trying to say for like 4 fucking months. They're in the same tier. Complaining about not signing Juju Smith-Schuster in 2023 is fucking insane. And it was a complaint because we pulled up the literal definition of the word. It was a complaint. Correct? We can agree. Thank you. It wasn't aggressive. A statement. Is what we're doing with? That's what we're going with?
That's where I live at. It was a statement.
We just had a segment on the show where we actually read the definition of a word on air. I'm so proud of us right now. I love us so much right now. Huh?
That's fine. That's fine.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it.
It was.
I'm very.
It was an ex. It was. It was an ex. What do they call it? I forgot. I can't even say the word.
That's my kind of carrying on. I love it.
There's a lot going on right here. It's like we need a moderator.
Speaking of words and music,
I'm the moderator. Goddammit!
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Pull up a seat and get off your feet for Judes Grooves.
Another day.
That time.
Grooves.
It's that. Listen, every time I try to intro you to Judes Grooves, you interrupt me introducing you to Judes.
Oh. Sorry.
It's the routine. I play the music and I say what it is. Yeah. Let me do it again. Jeez.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Pull up a seat and get off your feet for Judes Grooves.
It is, man. Judes Grooves. That time of the show that everybody comes at that last pause. This show. The time of the show that everybody loves, the last 2 minutes of heaven. Judes Groove, ladies and gentlemen. I think was this the song that I selected for tonight?
No.
Oh,
you'll find out. You'll love it.
Did someone else select this?
I did.
Who was
it's my choice. But me and Case talked about this all some time ago. He'll get it. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Another girl I met, her experience fast. Because most girls with kids done been hitting their ass before. Picked her up sunset. Don't be late for dinner, ma. Bringing honey home from the date of the cinema. Thinking how the fuck the ass so plotted. Blown in the elevator. Hit the stop button. She smiles by knowing that her butt I want to bore. I said, can I have a kiss now instead of in front of your front door? Oh yeah. Although the rule tried not to push hard, I'm over the bitch like an octopus. Deep down, I know she also wanna fuck, though I catch my tongue in her mouth so not to put her on the spot. To have to talk no shit to prevent me from boning, unzap the bra when the hooker stopped moaning, and expose my espresso, suck on her and lick on her, unbuckling, pulling out mad long dick on her. Okay, panties in the way of that, but I want to check it out. Slipped her wet drawers down the thigh and took her leg out. Okay, her butt was juicy, kind of fat. Spun around, started to stick her in the pussy from the back. She came, mad juice dripped out, still in the pussy, then acted like it slipped out. Come on the floor, she said. Pardon the puddle. Spread open her cheeks, pushed hard in her butthole. Wasn't a bad day at all, she went. Ah, ah. Stop pulling at my balls while I'm still penetrating. What the fuck is this? Felt fantastic, she said. Rick, I'm not really into this ass kick. Meanwhile, I don't want to read this. What is this? Meanwhile, Rick, coming by the gown. Put your hands on the wall, please, and try and keep your balance. Licking the grill on her. Meanwhile, feeling her. What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Go ahead.
Oh my!
Till sperm stop pouring out of her butthole while I'm still in her, and start ramming the pine in her. I almost picked her up with these final grinds. What the fuck is this? How does this pass for music? Like, people were getting turned up to this. This man's talking about fucking coming in her ass, and
Oh my god, yo!
this man's describing a cream pie. Why are you describing this? No one's in the history of mankind was like, you know what?
Dude.
I really want to listen to some hard rap describe a fucking cream pie. No one's asking to describe. No one's asking for cream pie descriptions.
Our show is canceled.
And then he's talking about anal, so he's also no one's asking for this. No one someone's asking for cream pies.
Yo,
Someone's asking for this.
our show is canceled. We're done. We are done. I remember when I said, "Yo, it'll be wild if Jude reads the lyrics to adults only," and I was like, "This is going to get us canceled." We were like, "No way."
If we got to go out that way, I'm willing to go out that way, man.
Oh my! Yo, that was Slick Rick's adults only. Listen, I've heard that song several more times than I'd like to admit to. I've heard the song several times. If you are familiar for which album it was, Slick Rick was Art of Storytelling.
I don't recall.
I forgot what the name of the album is, but I think it was Art of Storytelling. I'm not too sure. Yes, it came out in '99. The Art of Storytelling. Very good album. I think that wasn't his last one, but it was actually his comeback album after I think 5-6 years, something like that, after being deported.
So he spent 5 or 6 years thinking, and he thought to himself, I really want to make a song about cream pies. That's what he thought. 5-6 years away from the grind, away from this, and he comes back and he thinks, I want to make a song about cream pies. That's what you're saying, Case. That's what you're saying to me right now.
All I'm saying is,
that's what you're saying.
In 1999, Slick Rick came back on the scene. The album was very good, and that cut came on, and I was all of 17 when I first heard that cut, and I was like, that's pretty explicit, but He's the master storyteller. That's all I can say. Shout
I
out
mean,
Slick Rick.
he wanted nut some butt.
You gotta hear the
Clearly,
song, Joe. You gotta hear the song.
clearly.
The song is yeah. Um, but if we're still around after, if we're not canceled by the FCC, we're still around. Follow us Follow us on TikTok at middle_initial_pod. And tell us what you would like to see more from us on TikTok. Follow Kevin Lewis at KLEW24. Follow Jude Truth at Jude Truth. And follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at MIPod69. We gave away 4 more training camp tickets. It's probably our last giveaway. Um, Shout out to the I don't want to say I didn't forget the name. Shout out to Pete Antonelli. He actually also won the Aaron Rodgers tee. So shout out to
Oh.
Pete. Yeah, he was our 100th subscriber. So as a gift to him, and I've said it before, guys, I love giving shit away. Like I love giving away shirts, posters, hats, t-shirts, whatever. Uh, Tickets. I love doing giveaways. So in order for you to be a part of a giveaway, you got to follow us on TikTok. You got to subscribe on YouTube. You got to subscribe on Spotify or Apple, right? You got to follow us on Instagram and you got to follow us on Twitter. That's the only way you'll be able to participate in our giveaways. And shout out to Eric, at eMoneyTrain87, somebody else who participated in the training camp ticket giveaway. He got 2 tickets to the training camp this week, August 23rd. So once again, guys, I know it's the end of the show, and some people don't make it this far, but if you made this far for Juice Grooves, please make sure that you follow us on all social media platforms. We're giving away free shit, man. As you can see, I think I finally perfected my setup as far as like lighting, and camera, and all that stuff, and internet. So feel confident in what I have right for me right now. Maybe my laptop being fucked up was a blessing. But yeah, I think I finally got some. I think I finally got it together. Got a tripod, got a ring light, and making it work. So if you guys like the new look and the final aesthetic, maybe Jude will get a post in his background. We get something for Kevin in his background, but we're working on everything, making it look as uniform as possible. So
Hmm.
shout out to y'all, shout out to everybody in the Discord, and I can put my glasses back on. Uh, that ring light is reflecting everything. Make sure you buy the merch in my product store. I am rocking, of course, the first House of Pain T-shirt. Back to the Big Six. There's 2 out. New ones out. You guys haven't seen it already. And the Aaron Rodgers tee is not sold on the MI Pod store because we're not allowed to duplicate it. But there are loopholes and there are ways for you to get it. So if you see the Aaron Rodgers tee and you want one, hit me up on the Middle School Podcast. My podcast. All right. Anything else before we go?
No, sir.
All right. Stay inspired by